So, in the world, you have some people that are trying to make a lot of money. Now, some people assume that money alone will be, let's say, the answer. Where, let's say you take a country or even a town, and if that town or country or city or state somehow gets more money, let's imagine like it's a poor city or a poor town or a poor country, and that poor place that somehow receives more money, that everything will be better. Now, how does this happen today? Like, let's say practically, there's some people, some place, some city, some town, some country that wanted to make more money. How does that work in the world today? They would have to create some business or basically some business, something that earns money that will receive money from other places, from other countries, from other cities, from other towns, from other states. And that money enters into their town, and then they have a lot of money. So essentially, they will have to make a business. They'll have to make a work. They'll have to produce something. Now here, what is interesting is here is a question. I mean, given let's say that earning money is good and becoming wealthy is good, but one question is here, what are you actually doing? What are you producing? What are the consequences and side effects of your business? Because let's say you have like 100 different businesses, they all equally will make money, but what does your business actually provide? What is it actually doing? I mean, you can see that, let's say one business, let's say produces pollution, for example, or another business, is designed to make very extremely cheap clothing that breaks apart. Or, you can go on, it could be like anything, right? Something that could lead to very horrible consequences that affect other towns, other cities, the whole country, the country itself. So yes, let's say one situation, a country becomes very wealthy, yet they destroy themselves. They destroy their own country because that was how they made so much money. And so that was the compromise or the cost of money. So it's never always about making money. It's definitely about, how you do it. Now, here's an interesting point as well, that let's call it like the moral conscience, if you want. Moral conscience being, let's say knowing that if you produce pollution as part of your business, that the pollution will stay there, and if you don't clean it up, it will stay there, and it will affect you and other people, and perhaps the environment or animals or the habitat or ecosystem. So you know that, and that's your moral consciousness, or your moral duty is to actually clean it up, is to perhaps find ways to prevent you from producing the pollution in the first place, or from taking care of it, or finding a different way that doesn't produce it, or produces less. Or maybe you decide that the business is not even worth it, that actually you could be doing a whole different other business to make money. Now, that would be responsibility. That would be taking responsibility to clean up after yourself, right? That's just common sense. Now, does that earn you money? Having a moral conscience, does it earn you money? And if let's say you're a millionaire, can you buy moral conscience? Can you buy the responsibility for yourself or for another? Can you buy that? No, you cannot. You can never buy moral conscience. You can never buy responsibility or duty. you can live it as yourself, and that can be inspiring to others, and then they can take that onto themselves, but you can never buy it. See, that responsibility, that care, that integrity, that honesty has nothing to do with money. It's part of who you are. And part of who you are can, that would be living responsibly with money, with the world, with business. And that would be something that can be prioritized, that money could support, that you could support that message, that inspiration, that example. You could choose to do that. And even though you can't buy it, you can support it. You can support the people, physical people in the flesh who are actually living it. And thereby you would support the message. And thereby you would support the whole world becoming just like that. You see, if you only focus on growing your economy, becoming wealthy at any cost, then you will pay the ultimate cost. You will pay the ultimate price. And you will die and annihilate everything else around you. However, you can choose to support what is common sense, which is taking responsibility for your actions, for the consequences of what you create through making money, through what you do, through your effects in the environment and on other people around you. You can do that. And it's not someone with money or without money that determines that. It's the person themselves. That is why focusing on that, spending time on that, is the most valuable thing you could do with your time. That is a priority. So the question is here, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? The cities, the countries, the states, how are we going to treat one another? Are we going to actually live up to our responsibility, to our honesty, to our trust, to our ability to care for the environment, to care for each other, to take responsibility for what we do? If we each do that, the world will correct itself. All the misalignments, all the mistakes and problems that are pushed under the rug, that are hidden, that are forgotten on purpose. That's what we need in the world. We need people to stand up as that and show that, yes, it is here, we are here, that it does exist, irrespective of money. And we are going to change how things work. And that is how the world will change, through people, through who they are, and all of us come together around that point of responsibility, honesty, of duty, of care. And all it takes is you and me and everyone else. We can do this. We are meant for this. We are meant to live a life that's worth living. A life that is full of responsibility, of care, of duty, of regard and honor for life. And that is who we really are.